What's up, guys? Today we're gonna do pork spare ribs. Now I got these beautiful pork spare ribs from Cortez Market, but I want to cut off a couple pieces of this thing. And you might want to do this ahead of time because it's gonna take a long time. But I'm gonna take bits of this off, little trimmings, and I'm gonna make a pork stock that's gonna help this cook down later on. We're gonna crisp this up on the barbecue in a little bit here, but ahead of time I'm gonna take these pieces of pork and make a nice pork stock that's gonna help us later on. I want to prepare these ribs by putting some oil on here. And a little salt and pepper. Salt and pepper mix that I always use. It's a perfect ratio. Make sure you do the other side as well. Even this side. Got the burrito outside. Crisp this down, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, here's that homemade pork stock. We took some onions, garlic, those bits of pork that we put in there, rosemary and some bay leaves, different things, and we'll let this break down for a couple hours while we go outside and crisp up those ribs. Alright, now we're going to brown these ribs until it gets the color that I like. Probably cut it in half, put it in a baking pan, go in the oven for another 2 hours. This is a beautiful rack of ribs from Cortez Market. It's so big, I'm going to have to cut this thing in half to get it in the pan. And it looks beautiful when it's done. Now, it's going to fool you. Just because it's brown, it's nice and charred, it's crisp, it's not cooked yet. Don't eat it at that point. Pork ribs take a long time to cook. You're gonna need to cook this for at least 4 hours at the minimum. So I've had it on here like 45 minutes, and I'm gonna crisp it some more. I still got some time to go on this, and then I'm still gonna put it in the oven for 2.5 hours at 350 degrees. So pork takes time. Don't rush it. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth the process. Just take your time. Alright, up to this point, we've prepped the ribs. We created our own pork stock from the trimmings. We took it outside on the brio and we scorched it, and we got the color, this beautiful color that I like. Now here's the next step. I'm going to take this little old lady's bottle of Southern Home Cabernet Sauvignon, you know, the one that little old ladies hide in their cupboard. We're going to pour that in there, the whole thing, the whole thing. And we're going to take some of that. I've already siphoned out some of that, strained out basically, some of that pork stock. So I'm going to pour that whole thing in there. Or at least enough. I need at least enough to almost cover the ribs. Once I do that, cover. Oven at 350 degrees for 2.5 hours. You want to check on it every once in a while. Throw more wine in there, throw more stock in there if you need to. You don't want it to get dried out. 2.5 hours. Let's see what happens. Alright, here's the reveal. I had time to get a t-shirt, get a shave. It's been 2.5 hours. Let's check out what the heck went down. Wow. These look gorgeous. Look at the color on these things. I'm gonna drag this up like this so you can see even better. Holy moly. Looks fantastic. show you how we're gonna plate it in a few minutes. I had time to make a little slaw, put together with it. I'll show you. All right, here's the final product. Here's that slaw that I made when you weren't looking. And then here is the ribs. They just fall apart, falling apart off the bone. Oh my goodness. They're just freaking, the meat is just cooked all the way through. It's just moist, soft. Tastes like freaking pulled pork. It's freaking amazing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on spare ribs. If you have any questions whatsoever, DM me. I am definitely not an expert. I am definitely not a cook, but this is some crazy stuff that I just threw together, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Keep cooking.